The first step of using EndNote is adding citations describing publications to a library file. This video will include tips for manually adding citations to an EndNote library. Adding citations manually is the hardest of all ways. The first tip is to avoid doing it if possible. If you have a citation to a newspaper article, journal article, book chapter, conference proceeding, or patent, and want to add a citation to this publication to your EndNote library, it will likely be quicker and more accurate to search a citation database for a copy of that citation and then import the citation into EndNote. You can export citations that are readable by EndNote from the USC Library Catalog, Google Scholar, PubMed, or a variety of other databases licensed by the libraries. There are many types of publications that do not appear in citation databases: regulatory documentation, government publications and reports, drug information resources, websites, legal information, standards. If you wish to include a citation to these kinds of publications, you will need to add it manually. Open EndNote and the library into which you will add the citation. Click References, then New Reference. The second tip for adding manual citations is to examine the publication you want to cite and try to determine what it is, and then tell this to EndNote. Is it an audiovisual material like a report you heard on the radio, a proposed legislative bill, a legal case, a dataset, a document published by the government, a rule or regulation, a report, a web page, or something else from the extensive list of publication types recognized by EndNote? If none of these seem right, generic is also available. The third tip for adding citations manually is to be critical and selective about what citation data to type in. For example, let's pretend I needed to cite this guidance document issued by the US FDA. I choose the publication type report as this seems like the best way to describe this document. EndNote provides me with 41 fields to fill in. I don't need to include information in all these fields, because only a few of these fields are used in creating a citation. I will definitely need to include information in about 4 fields, like the author, title, and URL, but I could skip the majority. The fourth tip for adding citations manually is to be aware of how you will be citing. How did I know I needed to only add a few fields? I will be citing this in AMA style. I looked in the AMA Manual, 11th edition, and found these instructions for the required data and optional data needed to cite this. Only 9 pieces of information. I only need to add the needed data to cite in this format. If I was citing this report in APA style, NLM style, or another style, there might be different data I need to collect. If you do not know how you will be citing the material, review several styles and include enough data that you can use any style. The fifth tip for adding citations is to guess and check your work. Once you have typed in what you believe to be the appropriate data, add the citation to a Word document. EndNote will apply the rules for the citation style you chose and interpret the citation data you typed in. There will be many mistakes. Now, try to trick EndNote into providing the right citation in the style you want. Open EndNote, change the data, then open Word and update the citations. In making this video, I learned that to use more than one government agency and center name as an author without abbreviating it, place 2 commas between the names of the agencies. I tried a few things before I hit on this answer. In this example as well, EndNote was not able to identify that this was an online report. It did not include the access date and URL. I noticed that it was showing the date field, so I added the language of when it was accessed and the URL into this field. Now the citation appears correctly in AMA style 11th edition in my citation list in my Word document. Once you've found the appropriate way to trick EndNote, take screenshots of the EndNote citation. The next time you need to cite a report of this type, use your screenshots to remind yourself how to enter the name of the government agency and center so that it appears correctly in AMA style 11th edition in your final document. The final tip about adding citations manually is that you will likely have 1 or 2 citations that you just can't get precisely correct. As the final step in your editing, you can convert the citations into plain text. This will remove all of the EndNote codes from your document, and you will no longer be able to change the citations automatically. However, you can now edit the citation text.